make better decisions.
That's all you need to do. But what if I told you that making better decisions can be done in a framework that requires much less thinking than you'd expect? You see, a lot of these professional players make exceptional decisions, but what you don't see is that they've been using a framework that makes their decision making almost look effortless. In this video, I'm going to share with you that exact framework, because once you learn this framework, you're gonna stop feeling that annoying pressure when you get the ball and you don't know what to do. You're gonna stop hesitating, and you're gonna stop feeling like you have to pass the ball immediately, because you are making smarter decisions.
So if you want to become a smarter player faster, make sure to go subscribe. And if you stick to the end, I'll share with you my 7-day training camp that you can do completely on your own in order to master the skill set of making better decisions and being a smarter player. So it's actually really funny because I started making these soccer videos when I decided to start wanting to make a difference in my life and try something that I thought was impossible. And that was playing soccer at a much higher level. But for some crazy reason, I decided to want to become a better soccer player after years of taking a break. And I was focused on just work and the corporate life and what I thought and would consider just like a normal life. But then I ran into an issue. You see, I started playing on a lower level rec team just to be able to get my touch back and just to get into like a better condition and being able to run more. And honestly, I was not that bad. But after playing with that team, it made me have a little belief in my head of like, okay, you know, if I'm good on this team, maybe I could step up the level and improve a little faster and play on a much higher level team. And that's when it hit me that it's not about being strong, it's not about being able to run faster than them, and it's not even about having a better first touch or being more technical on the ball. It was about making smarter decisions. And honestly, that was pretty tough to learn because I thought I knew how to make smarter decisions, but I realized that I was making decisions in a way that was not helping me at all, inefficient, and honestly a complete waste of my time. And that's when one of the coaches came up to me and was like, hey Marat, like, we love you, you're a great player, you're super physical, you're super strong, you know what to do on the ball, but soccer is a sport that is from the neck up. You are a good player in soccer when you play with your neck up. And what he meant by that is by using your brain a little bit more, not just being frantic, not just being random, but actually being smart on the ball. So that's when I decided to lock in and take matters into my own hand and study exactly what makes a smarter player. And lucky for you guys, I've literally been working with professional players to figure out exactly what this framework was, so not only I could implement it, but I could also share it with you guys. But once I started to work on it, once I locked in and truly focused on what does it take to make a better decision, there was a complete night and day difference of the type of player I was. I was not a player who would just get the ball and just clear it out of the way because I got stressed. I was not a player that would get the ball and hear 100 different teammates say, ball here, pass, 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 yes, yes, yes. You know, I got the ball, had composure, knew what the best decision was because I had this framework, and then I made the best decision at a much more consistent amount of time. So I want to share with you the first secret, and that's the 3-second scan system. And the problem is when most people get the ball, that's when they make the decision. You get the ball, defenders are sprinting after you, you have 100 people telling you to pass to them, and now you have to make that decision while you have the ball with a whole lot of pressure. And I don't know about you, but when I have that type of pressure on me, I tend to not make the best decisions because not only are there 3 players on the right that want the ball, there's 3 players on the left that wants the ball, the goalkeeper wants the ball, and on top of that, there's 100 defenders sprinting after me. That's a pretty stressful situation. But with this 3-second scan system, it's helped me not make it as stressful. So breaking down the system, there's 3 parts to it. The first second is the shoulder check. The second second is the wide scan. And then the third second is the final scan. And right off the bat, you won't be able to do this as fast as 3 seconds, but for you to be able to know what to do, it may take you 5 seconds, it may take you 6 seconds. But as you learn and consistently work on this, you'll be able to do this within 3 seconds. So what even is the point of the first second, the shoulder check? During that check, you need to do 2 things and 2 things only. The first thing is you need to immediately look at where the defenders are and where that pressure is coming from. And how you do that shoulder check is very simple. It's literally left, right. Now we're on to the second second. That's where you do the wide scan. How you do that wide scan is just in a Z pattern to be able to collect information of the whole entire field. And during this wide scan, you're looking for one thing and one thing only, where that open space is. Because once you figure out where that open space is, you'll know either where to bring the ball or where to drag that defender to create space in a different area. Or if you're a striker, you'll know exactly where to bring that ball to either take that shot or pass to a teammate who can get into that area. And then for the last second, the final check. This is you doing that shoulder check one last time in the direction that you're most likely going to be playing in. And you do this to make a final confirmation of where you're going to play. So if you're on your own and you want to learn how to work on this, here's a quick quick solo drill that you can do in order to work on this. You want to find a wall and you want to back up far enough for however long it takes you to do that decision. If it's a couple seconds or if it's even longer, that's the space that you want to make between you and that wall. Your goal in the future though is to make that space even smaller. So what you're going to do is you're going to throw the ball against the wall. You're going to run through the exact 3-second scanning routine. And while you're doing that, you're going to speak out loud exactly what you're looking at and what you see. This helps you rewire your brain to not just do your shoulder check, but to do your shoulder check with purpose. And honestly, I'll be real with you. I've seen so many people, and even I used to do this, where you do a shoulder check and you would just do that without much purpose. You knew you had to do a shoulder check, but you didn't really know what you had to look for. This helps rewire your brain to understand exactly what you're looking for. Now, once you do the scanning system, you're gonna get the ball, and that's where secret number 2 comes into play. And that's how to create time and space through your body positioning. Because you can do your 3-second scan system and you can know exactly where to bring that ball. But if your body isn't positioned the way that will open space and help you get away from that defender, it doesn't even matter. He could be the worst defender. You are not gonna get past him. So what exactly do you need to look for in body positioning? Well, the first is shoulder orientation. This is where your shoulder is positioned in order to either make a half turn, a full turn, or play directly in front of the defender. Because if you're in high pressure situations where you really need to get that ball away, you're gonna open your shoulders up to be able to do a full turn immediately away from that defender. And if you're in a light pressure situation, you may only need to do a half turn where you can play the ball into space, being able to beat that defender anyways. Or third, you don't even have to move your shoulders at all because the pressure is very low. And even if you are facing the defender, that defender is 10, 15, 20 feet away from you and it doesn't even matter. And the next is your hip angle. And honestly, this might be one of the most important portions of it because however your hips are angled is however fast you can do that turn. And the third body positioning is your feet. And just like your hips and just like your shoulder, wherever that pressure is, that's how you want to select your feet position. Now, there's a few ways if you're on your own how to work on this. The easiest is if you have a team that records your games using like some VO or some type of game recording system, or if you record the games on your own. What you'll want to do is watch yourself 10 times where you received that ball, and you want to focus on how your body was positioned before you actually got that ball. And on your own, you'll want to look at where that defense pressure is, where your teammates are, to help figure out what the best body positioning would be. And then you get up from your computer, you get up from that screen, and you do that exact body position. So then you can physically work out exactly how your body should have been positioned at that time. The more of this that you do, the smarter of a player that you'll become faster. Now, if you don't have someone recording the game for you, that's okay. You can watch professional games, you can watch college games, and right before that player gets the ball, you can pause the screen and do the exact same drill. Now you've done your 3-second scan system, you've corrected your body positioning. Now comes in for secret number 3. This is your risk assessment based on your field positioning. And this part's really tough to learn, but once you put those reps in, you're gonna be a completely different player. Because here's the thing, you can do all those other 2 stuff right, but if you do what you consider the best pass in a risky situation and you lose that ball, the other team could get the ball, or even worse, counter and score because of your mistake, because you took too much risk. Now, risk is important, especially when you're close to their goal. But when you're close to your own goal, you need to be a little bit smarter about that risk. So there's 3 different colored zones. The red zone, that's your defensive third. That's where you want to limit the risk and most times choose the safest pass, because you don't want to risk it in your own defensive third, and you want to play safe and you want to build up the play. So don't be that guy that passes the ball directly in front of goal and then someone just runs up and kicks it, because we've definitely seen that before. The next one is the yellow zone, and this is the zone where balance is needed. You see, you can make some risky plays, but you also want to make some safer plays. And depending on the score of the game and how much time that you have left in the game determines how risky of a play you'll make in this zone. But with that being said, if you do that 3-second scan system and you have the correct body positioning, you will have created yourself a whole lot more time to make a better decision. And that time will help you understand if you should take that risk or if you should play it safe. And finally, the green zone. This is my favorite zone, and I'm sure a lot of you guys like this zone. This is where you take the most risk possible. If you know you can take that one-on-one, if you know you can make a really skillful pass, but that pass is crossing through multiple defenders, but it's still a valid pass, then this is the zone that you need to be taking it in. You see, when you watch players like Kevin De Bruyne, he takes those risky decisions, he makes those crazy plays, those crazy passes when he's in the green zone. And even if you lose the ball, that's okay, because that's the section where you want to be taking those risks. Now, if you're on your own, it's a little bit tough to be able to work on this. So the best situation would be be for you to be with your team, training with your team, or playing a pickup game. And every time you're in either the red zone, the green zone, or the yellow zone, you consistently remind yourself, I'm in the yellow zone, I'm in the green zone, I'm in the red zone. And when you keep reminding yourself what zone you're in, your brain will be able to rewire its decision making, understanding, oh God, I'm in the red zone, I better be safe with this, or this is it, I'm in the green zone, I'm going all out, taking these risks. The more times that you do this, the smarter of a player you'll become faster. And that brings me to secret number 4, which pass is the best pass. And there's 4 different types of passes that you can make aside from dribbling it and taking space. The first pass is the line break pass. This is one of the riskier passes because you're splitting defenders and your goal is to pass behind their defense so that your teammate can have an advantage and the defenders have a complete disadvantage because you broke that line. The next pass is the forward pass. This is the type of pass that helps you maintain ball possession but still progresses your team and the ball moving forward. This is more of a safer play because it helps bring the ball forward, but it also tends to not risk you losing the ball. Now the third is the switch play. This is where you're bringing the ball from one side of the field all the way to the other side of the field so that you can shift their defense and keep their defense on their feet while also changing the point of attack, because the more that the defense is moving out of position, the more open space that you have as a team to be able to make more of an explosive counterattack. Now the best way to work on this is going to my Instagram, and I have a lot of these which pass is the best pass challenges where you'll see a situation and you'll be given 3 options, option 1, option 2, or option 3, and you have to decide which pass is the best pass. What this helps with is the pattern recognition part of your brain so that whenever you're on the field, you'll already have experienced that play. So then when it does come time to make that decision, you will already know what type of decision to make. Now, doing 2 or 3 of these video challenges is not going to help you at all. You need to be doing these video challenges every single day. And lucky for you, I've been posting these video challenges every single day. So feel free if you want to check it out. It's over there. I already have a ton of challenges with difficulty levels starting from easy going all the way to expert. The more that you do, the smarter of a player that you'll become faster. And now secret number 5. This is what I call the mental cinema, because 5 minutes before you go to bed, you will want to visualize 3 different scenarios, whether they're from my scenarios or if they're from your own scenarios. And what you'll want to do is mentally rehearse everything that we already talked about. First, you'll want to do your 3-second scan system. Second, you'll want to create space through your body positioning. And then finally, you'll want to run some risk assessment based off of how risky of a decision you should make. And trust me, if you do this for 30 days straight, your decision making on the field is going to be so different than what it used to be, because now you're not playing randomly. You're not playing frantically. You're playing like a smarter player. And that's truly what separates a good player from a great player. And if you want to work on this in a more structured way, I actually have a 7-day free training camp that's online and completely free. However, I'm only accepting 50 players because of how detailed we go into it and the amount of personalization that each player gets. This is truly an online training camp where you're working with me, you're working with professional players, one-on-one, to be able to help you master this whole entire sequence that I've been sharing with you. So the link's in the bio, and it's first come, first serve. So click the link, fill out the application, and if you haven't already, go subscribe.